What's up? Episode one, Lucious Wins Podcast. I'm here with my mentor, the greatest comic ever. Um, without him, I wouldn't be here. Um, I just can't say enough about this guy. Give it up for Eric Kimbrough.
Hey, give it up.
Hey,
Yeah.
does everybody think I'm on your dick anyway? Fuck them niggas. What's
What's
happening, man?
up, boy?
What's good,
What's
sir?
going on? Huh?
Nothing, man. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. First off, so let me say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that
So,
shit. I see you got your chinchilla on.
yeah, man. I'm out here, man. Pandemic proof, Lou. Ain't nobody watching this shit. All that
Shit,
that
everybody watching.
support.
Shit, you got 100 million views right now, baby.
Man, but that shit ain't showing up in that corner, goddamn.
It's all right. It's on here. Shit.
We
What's
out
up,
here, bro.
man? What's going down?
Not a damn thing, man. I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm all right, man. I'm just out here like everybody else, man, trying to figure out when the world's gonna open up, what's the next step gonna be, how we gonna get in. You know what I'm saying? Which way am I
For
gonna pivot to make it to the next level, man? You
for
know,
sure. Yeah. And I feel the same way, man. The reason I want to do this podcast, I feel like people don't know me. So in order for them to know me, I gotta pick a different way to show it because I ain't the YouTube 5 minute video dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in deep, and you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like somebody like you on this show is gonna help build this shit. You
right,
understand?
right. Take that.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the shit. Eric Kimbrough, my first guest, Lucious Wins Podcast. You grew up in Alabama.
Yeah, I'm in Alabama, man.
You
I grew
from
up,
Alabama,
I
correct?
grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, baby. Redstone Arsenal. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Got it in red clay. You know
is
what I'm
that the joint
saying?
with the rocket?
Huh? Space
Is
Rocket Center.
Huntsville? They got the rocket up in the city.
Yeah, Space and Rocket Center.
Yeah, so the smartest people in the world be down in Huntsville, Alabama.
Huh?
I said the smartest people in the world be in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, yeah. Down there,
Yeah,
Space and Rocket Center. I grew up. I grew up 2 miles, maybe 2, 3 miles from the Space and Rocket Center, man. And guess
okay.
what? Never been in there not one time.
Oh,
Not one time, baby. I never been in the.
not even as an adult.
Nope, not even as an adult. I never been in
Damn.
the Space. I'm gonna tell you, like when I was in middle school, each year the eighth grade, like the middle school grade, the eighth grade, right? And in
Right.
the eighth grade, take a field trip every year at the end of the year to the Space and Rocket Center, right? So all the kids would go to space. So when I was in the seventh grade, all the kids that went to the Space Rocket Center on the field trip in the eighth grade, they wilded out so bad they was stealing stuff. They stole stuff from the gift center. They was wilding out and they crawled in and out of the bus windows and shit. They was acting so bad that the next year we couldn't go. So when I got
Damn
to
it.
the eighth grade, they didn't take us to the Space and Rocket Center, dog. So that's why I ain't never been. I never been.
Oh, fuck that. Nah, man.
Yeah, man.
Y'all should
I
have
mean,
found him and beat him up.
kids got in trouble for stealing everything. Boy, they got suspended from school. Their parents was called. Like Alabama, man, the kid was cool. It was a small place, but it was progressive. The military was there, so you had
Okay,
people
yeah.
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And then you got A&M. You know,
Right.
so you got black college. Then you got Oakwood, which is a religious college where what is it? Take Six or something like that was from Brian McKnight and his brothers.
Okay.
They was from down there, man. And also it wasn't nothing to do, but it was stuff to do. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, so what age did you leave there to come to Louisville?
I came here, man, after high school.
Okay, after high school. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
after high school. To shit, it was just situations, man. Shoot, I ain't gonna say we was hitting bad, but we was hitting bad. My stepfather had left my mother, and he went to Korea and never came back. And then it was
What?
like, yeah, nigga went to Korea. I'm going to Korea like 3 years. He was in the military. He's like, why? Nigga, he left when I was in the 8th grade, 9th grade. I didn't see him till my 2nd year of college.
Man,
So
what the fuck?
he
That
came back
nigga,
once, maybe, like one time. And
that
so
nigga
in the
said, yeah,
process,
I'm gonna go visit him, but nigga, it's gonna be for a brief time.
yeah, so in the process of that time, when he left, my mother, she was a government or whatever, but you know, she wasn't really making it enough to hold us down. It was 3 of us, me and older sisters. One of my sisters went to college. The other sister, she was a year older than me, and she went to Ohio to live with my aunt. And then it was just me and my mother down there. And then stuff got rough, man. Like we was losing everything because he wasn't paying the bill. He wasn't sending my mother money to pay the bill. So we didn't have no car, nigga. We didn't have no refrigerator. We had like just the basics. We had a crib, but that was about it, though. You know what I'm saying?
All right, okay, I can dig it. Like,
So
so tell me what was the difference between Louisville and Birmingham?
it's
Cause
Huntsville.
they're both like, cause Birmingham is like a nice little city.
Yeah, but I'm not from Birmingham. I'm from Huntsville.
Huntsville. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. But see, Birmingham and Louisville is almost the same, though.
Right.
It's the same way. But the difference growing up because we used to go to the Ham all the time, because that's where they used to have like a lot of major concerts would be down in Birmingham that wouldn't come to Huntsville. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we used to go down there. But the difference, man, the difference growing up there, it was just smaller, man. You know,
Yeah.
it was just smaller. But it's like here, like everybody, even though you might not know them. Like in
Right.
high school, you knew all the popular people who went to the other high schools.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So on the weekend, our hangout was Kmart parking lot. So it's like where everybody would go, nigga. Everybody would go and it would be sold out. Like you couldn't even get in. And then cars would park, but the thing was just driving around the parking lot. You know, you young and shit, hanging out the car, in the car, drinking.
Right.
We used to go to the liquor store in the projects in Northwood Project. They had a liquor store right there, and they would sell alcohol to everybody. Like you just go in, and they sell you alcohol. Back when we drink Mad Dog and Irish Rose and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Mad
That's
Dog
the young people drink though. That Mad Dog 2020.
and Mad Dog 2020, baby. They
It's
want.
so fruity, but that should have you linked over a car some goddamn well.
Hey dog, that mad. Hey dog. That Mad Dog smell like jail, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You drink that, that's where you gonna end up at, especially at 15.
It smell like S curl shit.
Hey man, that Mad Dog how you wake up sleeping in your car out or somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that should have you fucked up for real.
Yeah, he said it smell like S curl. Nigga, that's exactly
Yeah,
what
that shit does smell like S curl. The blue bottle, the jail joint.
and so like everybody used to drink grape and that orange jubilee and all that, man. So now we used to get that Mad Dog back when we was out smoking Newports and shit. You know, niggas was young smoking Newports, burning. You know what I'm saying?
Man, fuck all
Burning.
that.
Uh, and we used to just kick it, dog. And the thing was, like my mother, we was never like a family on a curfew. Like we
Right.
never had a curfew. We could always, like I could come and say, hey, I'm not coming home tonight. I'm staying at the hotel. Or I'm staying at such and
Right.
such. But she was cool. And or we could come home and be like, hey, who's that? Like, this my home girl. She gonna spend the night with me. And my mom was like, okay, long as you here, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always had the cool house. Like me and my sisters, man, we used to throw parties. Like my mother would be like, I don't know why she would always tell us like fans like, hey, this weekend I'm going out Friday night. We going to the officers club, whatever, the NCO club or some shit like that. So I'd be like, okay, cool, cool. So me and my sister Jerry, which we like a year apart, she a year older than me, we would go to school, tell everybody we was having a party Friday night from 9 to like 12. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Because everything closed at 2, 1:30 or 2. So now we would throw parties while my mama would just go out. You feel
Right.
me? And like we lived in a cul-de-sac, nigga. the whole cul-de-sac down the street, round the block would be sold out. The house would be sold out like a party. Cause mama would buy us like beer and kegs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
cause we would sneak and throw parties like that. We tell our friends, bring your own drink, bring your own this, blah 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 blah. Be there at 8:30. Mama's leaving. You know what I'm saying? Dog, when we would
Yeah,
have
some
a
house
party,
party vibe shit. Like
huh?
real house party, the
Yeah, real
movie
house
vibe.
party. My nigga had a little DJ. He had like one turntable or some shit before the shit was cool. Play
Okay.
the music, or we would just play tapes and shit. And man, they would call the police. The neighbors call the police, the military police, because we lived on an army base for a while. And dog, come and my stepdad, he was like a commanding officer over the area. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So, oh man, it would be a big deal, like Captain Holmes' house, but you got to think he was gone out. He was gone to Korea, so we was
Right.
just kicking it. And man, my mama would never know. She would always be like the next day, like, why is all these beer cans and track? Cause we would fill them up, boom, kick everybody out. Police come, everybody gotta go. We cleaning the crib. We quick clean, quick clean, quick clean. Start throwing shit, cleaning up, boom, boom, boom. Mama used to always be like, why alcohol bottles and this, and this. And we used to blame it on the white boy Tony next door because he was like, man, Tony and his friends be like, can they put the beer cans in our trash so that he don't get in trouble because he's 17 or some shit, 18, you know what I mean? And
Right.
we'd be like, cool. But then one day, mom was vacuuming or something and lift up the couch, nigga, and it was like hamburgers and shit stuffed up cushions. You know how shit, what's that smell? You know, it's like
Man.
burgers and old food and shit. And that's how we got caught with the parties. And then the neighbors started being like, hey, y'all had a big old party down there last week. Then I
I'm
seen the
niggas
police
snitching.
come. And that's how we would get caught. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But
fuck
that's
that.
it, man. It was just, everybody was cool, man. You do the regular stuff. Go to
Right.
football games on Friday nights, parties on Saturdays, whatever.
I can dig it. You went to U of L, right?
Yeah,
And what did you study?
I got a degree in communication, radio, broadcast, and television. And
Okay.
I have a minor. I have a minor theater.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you didn't want to do the stuff with your degree, or
Nah, man. I've never even taken my degree out of the pack. It's still the
oh
same
wow.
envelope that it came in when I graduated. And I graduated from college, shit,
Right.
23 years ago, 24 years, some shit like that, 96, 97, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I've never taken it out of the pack. What it was, man, is when I was in school, man, I wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to be a news reporter. I wanted to be a broadcaster. I wanted to be a news broadcaster, like an anchor or something
Okay.
like that, right? Because I seen myself doing it. So in the process of doing it, when I graduated and I went on these interviews for the news stuff, it was that whole start at the bottom, start in the mailroom, work your way up. That was the vibe back then, right? So
Right.
what it was, and the thing that really turned me off, mama had a friend, this lady up here, and her dude or whatever, he was a big wig at WHAS, right?
Right.
So my mama asked her, because she hooked me up with him, to just give me an insight or maybe an internship or something like that, right?
Right.
So he told her, all right, he can come in for an interview, see if I could even just start him in the mailroom and shit, right? I keep trying to be cool. I still see him to this day. He speaks to me, but I be like, nigga, get out of my face. He older dude and shit, you know what I'm saying? But when I went in there, man, and this is what turned me off on the whole thing. When I went in there, he was like, come in, man. And he was like, yeah, and he was trying to talk cool to me. He was trying to talk like he was like a real nigga and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, come on in, man. Sit on down, man. And yeah, only reason I'm giving you this time of mine is as a favor to such and such. you know, like I wouldn't even waste
So
my
he trying
time.
to shit on you like, yo, you ain't really worth my time, but since
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
cool with
that's
such and such.
he was like, I'm waste my time talking to you if it wasn't for her, you know. But I'm gonna tell you, in this industry, you know, you can't be a pussy. You can't be no quote unquote bitch ass nigga. Like, look at me, I worked my way up. I done did this. I done did this. You know, the only way I would even helping you is because of her, and you gonna have mail room and work your way up. But I don't even know if you could do that. You know, this how the niggas coming at me, right?
Right.
Nigga, I'm like 20, what, like 22, 23, some shit, 24, some shit. I don't know how old I am. And nigga, I remember I'm just sitting there, and in my mind, I'm like, fuck you, nigga. You know, like, what the fuck? Like, this ain't what I thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, maybe I was just naive. Maybe that's just, you know, I didn't understand the game or whatever. But then he was just like, yeah, man, so you know, I ain't even gonna waste my time with you, man. But she asked me to do it, so I'm doing. That was his whole thing, like, cause he was knocking off my mama's friend and shit. So it's pretty much like, I'm fucking this bitch. She asked me to do a favor, nigga. That's why I'm doing it. Other than that, I wouldn't fuck with you. You
That's
know
some
what I'm
cold
saying?
blooded shit. That's
Yeah.
cold blooded motherfucker.
That's all he kept saying is, yeah, she asked me, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even waste my time. I got too much stuff to do, man. Instead of be sitting here talking to you
Like,
about this.
well, fuck you then, nigga.
It's like, you got any questions? And I was like, nah,
Right.
like, no, right at that moment, I was over that shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, I was over the whole wanting to go into the news, wanting to this, wanting to that, all that, blah 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 blah. And then at the end of the shit, he was like, man, you know, but if it's something you want to get into, man, you know, I could probably get you in the mail room. You could start out sorting mail and work your way up, some shit like that. Point blank. So I left that shit like, man, fuck that shit, man. I ain't want to do that. You know what I
So
mean?
so after that, what got you into comedy then? Who were your influences growing up? Because
Man,
like me, I didn't grow up on Pryor. I grew up on Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, uh,
well,
Mike Epps. Like I was, I was a young in that time. I seen Richard Pryor.
right.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
man,
But
I'm gonna say with me, when I was when I was 14, I think I was 14. I don't know. I was 12. I could have been 12, 10. I don't know. When I just remember I had seen Delirious,
mm,
and then I remember when Raw came out. I asked my mama to take me to go see Raw at the movies. And
okay,
my little cousin was with me. And you had to be 17 to see a rated R movie. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So my mama took us. I remember I had on my little muscle shirt. It had the little Argyle shit on. I remember everything I had on. My mama took us to the movie theater. The shit was like 75 cents, $1.50 to get in. She basically checked us in, bought our tickets, walked us in because she was, we wasn't 17. And I
Right,
went to see Raw, man. And at that moment, I always wanted to be in entertainment. I always wanted to do that shit. And I think that was a moment for me that I didn't even know I was having.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because at that age, who wants to go to a comedy show? See
right,
I think that was a moment I wasn't even having. And then so let's go back. When I was in like the eighth, ninth grade and all this shit, everybody used to be like, man, my teachers used to be like, oh my God, you so funny, you should be a comedian. You so funny, you should be a comedian. And I used to be like, nah, I'm not, but I'm not trying to be funny.
right,
I'm like, I'm just answering questions and everybody would laugh. And the teacher would be like, this is not the time to be being funny, go to the office. And I'd be like, but I'm not trying to be funny.
right,
So then it went from that to, like, I'm kind of shy off top anyway. Like, if I don't know you, I don't really have shit to say to you. You know what I'm saying?
same man.
I'm just like, till I get to know you. Then you be like, all right, nigga, click, hang up, whatever. But so it went from that to my teacher started being like, oh, now he thinks he's too cool to even talk and interject and interact. If he wasn't trying to be so cool, he's smart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that shit, man. And so I know you like, what the fuck this got to do with comedy? But what it got to do with it is during that process, I used to host at the youth center. I would They would put on the talent shows and I would be the host.
Okay.
Like I would MC the talent show. I was like 12, 13 and shit. I would MC the talent shows. Like you're like, hey everybody, we having this. It would be in the gym. I'd have a little microphone and a little podium. They would do the shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then in in school, in high school, I didn't take theater or none of that shit. But when I got to college and I started going to U of L, I started taking theater just because I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I liked the acting and all that. I used to be in the stage plays like Raisin in the Sun and all that. I played these African plays and all this extra stuff, whatever they had at the thing. I took all these classes and just because I was interested in it, man. And shit. And so what happened is the transition. So what happened? My roommate, he wanted to be a DJ. Boom. So I was in a fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, greatest fraternity in America. Yeah, shameless plug. So I'm in the fraternity, and we needed a DJ for the party, and he was like, he lived 2 doors down from me. It's the dude who DJs my shows now, right?
Okay.
So in our meetings, I would plug for him to be the DJ. Plug, and they'd be like, we don't know him. Like, he's cool, but we ain't seen him. I'm like, yeah, he's new, but he DJs in the crib. You know what I'm saying? In the dorm room, like he's good. Da 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 da.
Right.
So long short, I got him his first gig. So after that, he becomes the DJ on campus. Then he becomes the DJ in the city. So then when he starts working his club caddies, I used to go to all the shit with him anyway. I used to carry his equipment and his crates and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was helping him, plus I was getting in everything free, right? But it was my partner, so we was just hanging. So then when he started, they called him the DJ at this club caddies out in Newburgh, and he was like, man, I don't know nobody out there. Why don't you go out there with me? And I was like, all right, that's cool. So we went out there, and before the club started, he was like, man, if I get stuck or if I'm changing records, I'm going to need you to get on the mic and say something. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, bet, I got you, man. Ain't nothing shit. This what I do. Like, yeah, I could do that. Like, I've been wanting to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember he's playing a song. He was getting a transition from fast music to slow music. And he handed me the mic and cut the music. He was like, here, say something. And I remember I grabbed the mic. And I was like, yeah. And I said, man, I don't know what to say. And then we just busted out laughing. You know what I'm saying? And then he just like, shit, and put the music on. And we started laughing. And then he was like, come on, E, man, you got to say something. I was like, all right, next time I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready. So then the next time I was ready, I was like, yeah, we welcome to such and such. We do this, da-da-da. We got my boy DJ Weedy. I'm Eric Kimbrough, blah, 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 blah. And so that became my thing. Like every week he was at the club and I was with him at the club and I would be on the mic. I'd be on the mic. Then I started hyping the parties. Boom, like, yo, I was the first hype man in the city, dog. This is all facts. This shit started with me. I was the first hype man in the city at all the parties, all the clubs, all the shows, because my dude was DJing and I was like his sidekick nigga, right?
And what year was this?
Man, he started DJing probably 93, 94, some shit like that. I was off and on saying stuff, but the club shit popped really like 95.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so then after that, every week I was in there, and I mean the club was just getting crowded, and I was becoming known for being a dude on the mic. Like everywhere I go, like, yo, you the dude at the club. Like celebrities would come in town after the concert. That's where the party would be. So that's where the show would be. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be the after party, and I was taking pictures with all the celebrities, like E40 and whoever was hot back then, Too Short, Wu-Tang, whoever came in. My dude, let me clear your throat. Da, 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 da. Oh, like them and Montel Jordan, everybody was hot, came through there. We was pictures because we was on stage. You know what I'm saying? And so one day we in there in the parties jumping, and rest in peace, my dude Lamont Settles. He was like the barber. He used to cut everybody's hair on campus. And he was like, Eric, he was from Paducah. And he shake your hand real hard. And he's like, Eric, boy, you be shaking my hand, pulling me. I'm hanging out the booth. Like, boy, chill out. And he's like, man, you live, dog. You rocking the party. And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, nigga, like, Eric. He was like, Eric, what? I'm like, Kimbro. He was like, nah, what's your name on the mic? And I'm like, nigga, I don't have no name on the mic. And he was like, boy, you Eric the hype man. That's who you are, Eric the hype man, bro. And then when we started busting out laughing and dapping. So the next time I said something, I was like, yeah, and I'm Eric the hype man, Kimbro, blah, 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 blah. And nigga, then that shit stuck like bam. Like nigga still called me the hype man and shit. And that shit stuck. So next, all the flyers is like, we got DJ Weedy and Eric the hype man, Kimbro, blah, 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 man. And we ran our hype parties all the way up until 2000 something. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
that was my grind, you know what I mean? Like I was Eric the hype man. Like niggas would pay me to come do their little parties, but they wasn't paying shit though.
Right.
You know, they wasn't paying shit. And then when I started charging more, niggas wasn't fucking with me. Right. But I started doing comedy in the meantime, like that transition. Okay, so being a hype man in school.
How was that transition?
Yeah,
into comedy?
Transition happened. So being a hype man at the parties, we were still on campus, right?
Okay.
So then I'm being a hype man at the club. Then we go to school the next week. Everybody like, damn, dog, you crazy, you live at the club, da 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 da. So we doing all the college parties, like from here, Lex, Western, Nashville, like everywhere, Cincinnati, and Nap, you know, we everywhere. So then it turned into people started asking me to host like shows like MC beauty pageants and, you know, U of L and, you know, all of that.
How you feel about that? Beauty pageants and shit.
It was dope because shit, I was still in that college era. So it was just like, shit, y'all get ready to pay me to come just talk shit? Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in the midst of doing that, they start asking me to host a step show. So Louisville had the biggest step show in the state. So now I'm hosting the step show at the Memorial in front of what they hold like 1,500.
Okay.
Sold out. Boom. So that's just my momentum. And after the step show, I hosted a step show for years. After that, everybody would always be like, man, you so funny, man. You should do comedy. You say, I'm too cool for that shit. Niggas like, you should do comedy. I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, I'm too cool for that shit. But then, man, one day, it was after 9/11, and me and my homeboy, we was talking on the phone. My best friend, he had just moved to Dallas and shit. And then he was like, man, you should come to Dallas, man. You should catch a flight to Dallas and come hang out. Like, Dallas is live, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, shit. Long as Bin Laden's alive, you won't catch me flying a kite. I was like, I'll catch the Greyhound. And then we just busted out laughing. Like, dog, that's hilarious. He's like, nigga, I told you, dog, you should be on somebody's stage. You know, some shit like that, right? So then I was like, damn, man. And so after we got off the phone, I thought about it, man. And then I was like, man, I'm going to try this shit because too many people is saying it. You know? So, nigga, I signed up for the comedy club. This was in 01.
The Caravan?
Huh?
The Caravan or the Improv?
The Caravan. The Improv didn't come here till 08.
Okay.
Yeah, the Improv came in 2008 and it left like in 2012 or some shit.
Okay.
So I signed up for the open mic. Signed up for the open mic in 01.
Because when I signed up, I called them niggas and I was like, yo, I want to be a comedian. I just don't know how to be one. Like
Right.
where do I fill out an application? Like that's how it was though. Like I
Right.
didn't know. Like there's no manual to this shit.
Right. It ain't no manual, ain't no nothing. When I called, I just called like today, like, hey, I'm trying to sign up for the open mic. When do y'all have open mics or blah blah blah? And they was like, call, you gotta call on, what was it, like Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And if you get through, you'll be able to get on the Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta call the third Tuesday of the month at 2 o'clock. And if you get through, you can get on the last week of the month.
Okay.
Because the open mic was the last Tuesday of every month, right?
Right.
So I was like, cool. So I called, like I sat by my phone at 2. I was ready. I beep, beep, beep. Probably niggas did. Whatever. Motherfucker, it was Brett Soul. He used to run the shit. And he answered. And I was like, man, I'm trying to get on an open mic, blah, 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 what I need to do. He was like, okay, you come Tuesday. When you come in, check in, boom. If you want a copy, bring a VHS tape, and I copy it for you. And this, that, and the third. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I give it to you after the show. But you get here, the show starts at 7. Get here at 6. You know, that type shit. You know what I'm saying? Get here at
Right.
6 and check in. Boom. So how much it cost?
Professionalism shit.
Huh?
It's that professionalism shit.
I was like, how much it costs? He was like, it's free for the people who's gonna be on stage, but if you bring some people with you, like $3 or some shit like that. Like, okay, cool. So I asked my mama to go with me, cause that was my dog.
Ugh.
Nah, I don't want to go. I don't know how it's gonna be. I asked my sister, and she was like, nah, cause if you do bad and they boo you or something, I'd be mad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, okay, cool, but I didn't want to tell nobody else, so I didn't tell nobody. And I remember I was getting ready to go, man, and before I went, I before I even called to sign up, dog, I would go to the club and every week and sit in the corner and watch
Oh,
the.
so you did that shit too?
Yeah, I would go sit, nigga, and just they used to give you popcorn and a coke, and I would just go sit and watch all the comics. You know, they go up, and I'd be like, man, he wasn't funny. I could do that.
Right.
That dude was good. Like, damn, I wonder how long he been doing it. Like, oh, this guy sucks. I could do better than that. Da da
Like
da.
you can tell the different levels.
Yeah, yeah. So then after I signed up and I went up, bro, and shit, I sucked. I sucked bad. I had like 3 minutes, nigga. I was probably up there a minute and a half. And probably about 2. I know I didn't finish the 3 because I went up there and I told my little airplane joke. That was all I had. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I told that shit, and it took me the whole time to tell it. And then at the end, I didn't even get like no laugh or no nothing. It was just like, uh, you know what I'm saying? And then
Okay. With that moment though, with that moment, what made you want to keep doing it?
dog, I loved it. I love the fact that I sucked because it became a damn. I can do this. I just got to figure out how to make it funny. I got to figure out how
Right.
to be funny. I got to figure because I said I watched these dudes that was going up before me because nigga it was like 40 people on the list and I was like number 37, some shit like that, right? So I'm like I done watched all these people do it and shit, man. I could be funny. I know I'm funnier than them. My personality's just funnier than them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so I left the caravan. I walked off stage, nigga. Dude messed my name up. It's like, yeah, Eric, Kimbra, whatever, messed my name up. I walked off stage. Nobody said shit to me. Nobody spoke. Nobody, hey, nice try, nothing. Nigga, I was choking because you could smoke in there. I was dying from the smoke. Nigga, I walked off stage, went upstairs, went down the ramp. It's when it used to be wooden. It was a wooden ramp. Went down the
Okay.
ramp. Nigga sat in my car for about 5 minutes, like, nigga, that was all right. I was scared to death, but that was all right. Like, it was
I
cool.
don't even like with my first moment on stage. I don't even remember that shit, and I feel bad that I don't remember that shit because I just
Right?
I feel like I should remember that shit.
I don't remember the date,
Right. I don't remember that either.
but I remember like people be like, yeah, I went on like April 10th, 2005. It was
Yeah,
like
I don't know how niggas remember that
I don't
shit.
remember none of that shit. I don't remember none.
Nah. I don't remember none of that shit. I remember it was the week after Derby, whatever year I went up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go the week after Derby.
So I
But I didn't know that Derby draws in tourists.
yeah,
So it would be a bigger room than what it would be. You know what I'm saying? So I went up, I think my first time watching was like the week before, the week of Derby.
right,
So the room was kind of like lit. So I thought that's how comedy shows were supposed to go.
all the time.
Yeah, and like I got there the next week and it was like two people there.
Right. But I say this at that time. When did you start? When who was owning the club?
Uh, it was right before Jamie and them bought it.
Daryl had it.
Yeah,
Okay, so at that time, that's when it was starting. That's when it was starting to go down.
yeah. And I ain't know no better. I was just there.
That's when the crowds was starting to damn my neck.
Yeah,
That's when the crowds was starting to go down. But yeah, when I went in there, man, that first time it was about 40 people for the open mic, man, because that was the only night they was having it. Boom.
mm,
I remember Tim Northern was in there. Like it's Big John was in there. I think Cleveland. I think Rich Reagan's. It was people like that, but it was like like Gallagher might have been there. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It was people like that in there. Like it was packed, dog. And I just remember they said the dude from Star Search, Tim Northern. I was like, damn, I seen that dude on TV. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and like I sucked, man, my first time, and nobody said nothing. Nobody was like, "Good job," or "Keep trying," or "What's your name," or none of that shit, man. So I just went and I sat in my car, and I was like, "Damn, man, this shit sucked." Like I was embarrassed, but I felt like, "Damn, I want to do it again." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like I want to do it
And,
again.
and that feeling is weird because it's like everything that you did was says failure. But
Right?
you like, yo, I gotta see what else is on the other side of this shit.
Yeah, that's what it became. That's what it became for me. Was like, nigga, I gotta see what I gotta figure this out. I gotta be funny. I know I'm funnier than this shit. I know I can do this shit. If this motherfucker is doing it, I remember I seen Adam White. You know Adam White?
Yeah,
Okay, Adam White, that's my buddy. He's cool. But I remember I seen Adam, goddamn, doing this thing where he used to say that he was unlocking himself. He locked the keys out and he took a hanger, but he doing like an imaginary hanger, sticking it down his throat, like
right.
unlocking the lock. And people was laughing. And I was like, man, that's the dumbest shit ever. This shit, I know I'm funnier than that. But looking at the craftsmanship of it, like Adam's great. I ain't gonna say he's great. He's good. He's good comic because he knows the craft of comedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He knows how to set up a joke, come up with a premise, set up a joke, punch it, all that extra shit. He's good with that. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I didn't know the craft of it. I was just up there talking, trying to be funny, like trying to
Right.
say something that was funny. But then once I started going back and I started learning how to be funny on stage, like take all of this out, just leave this, just leave this, just leave this.
Right. There's an actual entertainment form of
Yeah,
that.
like take your voice up here when you at this point, drop
Yeah.
it down. If you look at all my shit, when I go through my punches, I take my voice up, drop it down. I might go on a rant like where I'm like yelling, but I'm just rattling off. Then I be like, damn, I did too much, you know, and I bring it back down, controlling the room, the flow. You know, I might go 5 minutes of high energy, then 5 minutes of low energy, 5 minutes of high energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
So there's a format to it.
yeah, yeah. So once I learned all of that, which it took me a while, because when I first started doing it, I was just going once a month, once every 2, 3 months, you know, people be like, you do comedy? Like, yeah, I do comedy. Just come check me out. Like, oh, we'll come see. Like, all right, but I wasn't doing it on a consistent basis.
Right.
And so, like, my first shit from '01 to '03, I was doing it, but it was like sparingly. Then I moved to California because I was into acting and shit.
Okay.
I moved to
And
California
what
trying to get,
that's what made you move because you were just getting into acting.
yeah, yeah. And then,
Okay.
man, me and this little chick I was with, man, we had broke up, and I was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I ain't doing shit. So I
Right.
moved there with my uncle, and I stayed in an extended stay hotel. Shit was terrible. Niggas out there struggling. I lost 30 pounds while I was out there walking around, not eating and shit. Nigga, I'm walking around in Timberland boots and shit. Walking, I see a building like, oh, that look interesting. Let me go see what that is. Didn't know that motherfucker was like 5 miles away. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. You know, I ain't had no money to catch the little bus. I hardly had money to eat and shit. Like, I was eating, I had enough money I could eat once a day. So I wouldn't eat. I'd go, I walked to the, I lived in Glendale. I walked to the, they had a Galleria. It's called a Galleria, but it was like a mall. I walked there. I get something to eat in a food court. So my uncle would give me about $5 or $10 or something, some shit like that. And so I think I had about $500 to my name. So I would go get something to eat. If I had $10, I would get something that cost $5. So then the next day, if I got $10 more, I would have $15. Then I would go get something that cost $7. You know what I'm saying? I was
Right.
just my money up trying to eat better and shit. And then nigga, at nighttime, everything would be closed, wasn't nothing in walking distance. And I remember I would be so hungry that I would, before I go to bed, I would go downstairs to the vending machine, and the canned Cokes cost like 50 cents. And I get a canned Coke. And in order to feel full, I would just gulp that motherfucker down. Like, look, look, look. You know how you feel all bloated off the pop? Nigga, then I try
Right.
to, I try to put covers over my face and go to sleep and wake up in the morning. But then I got cool because some days I would just go to I would go downstairs in the extended stay. They had a cafeteria, but the shit was kind of expensive. And I would just get spaghetti with
Right.
meat. That shit was like $5 or some shit, 4.50. You know, like a little thing of spaghetti. And I got cool with the little room service dude, little bitty motherfucker name might be Hector Jose or some shit, man. And when I went down there one time, man, and I had my little card, and I boom, and I swiping my card to pay, and it kept declining my card, and it was like for like $4 or $5 and shit. And I remember the dude was like, he was like, ah, welcome to LA, my friend. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me the food and was like, don't worry about it. It's on me, man. You know, like, I know you hungry. You come here every day. Da da da
Because
da da.
that's the truth about LA. Like a lot of people go to LA, but they don't know that's where people go to die, basically.
Man, woo.
Actors and like aspiring actresses and all the other stuff, like they go there on a dream,
Man, they got 100,000 motherfuckers moving there every day.
and that's just crazy.
That shit
I couldn't
crazy.
imagine. And what year was this?
Uh, what's this shit like? '02, '03,
Okay,
some
so
shit like
that's like right when we were getting into the war with Iraq,
yeah,
and
all that shit. That's the first time I ever seen a protest in person in the streets. Like they was protesting, man. People was carrying crosses. The little, I guess, Iranian chicks with the veils and shit was walking. It was scary, man. They was chanting and shit. Dog, I was spooked. I was scared. I remember I had a cell phone, but you couldn't. It wasn't free till after 9.
right,
So I had to wait till after 9 California time
Mm.
to call my mama here. So then it's like 12:1 here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I barely got to talk to my family and shit because we was hitting and missing on time.
Right.
You know, it wasn't no FaceTime, wasn't none. It was more emails. Like I would go to like Kinko's every day and use their email.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember I called my mama like, damn, mama, they protest. It felt like the end of the world. It was scary. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was crying in the street and all that type shit, man. But I ended up coming back because my mother got sick.
Okay.
So one night my sister called me and they had to rush my mother to the hospital in the ambulance. And then man, that was like the worst feeling ever because the time difference for one was off. And then for two, like I couldn't be there and I had to wait for somebody to call and let me know.
Right.
You know, and then when I was calling home, wasn't nobody answering the phone, wasn't
So now
nobody.
you're getting super nervous.
Yeah, so the last thing you heard was like, hey, it was like my neighbor or something called and said, hey, I got your number from your mother said it was in her phone or some shit like that. Like, I'm calling you. They just took her to the ambulance, to the hospital in the ambulance. Blah blah blah. I don't know how to get in touch with nobody. Boom boom. I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, I'm calling my sisters. I called my sister and them. Then they linked up, I guess, or something. But then I couldn't get in touch with nobody else
Right.
till like the next day or something. Somebody called me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of them shits, man. And it just felt. I remember I was talking to my uncle, like, man, I just feel like I wish I was there. I don't know what to do. And he was just like, man, there's nothing you can do. He was like, all you can do is just wait till somebody calls you. And that was like, felt like forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then my mama got sick. My uncle started tripping because he's a crackhead. He started doing crackhead shit. So my situation was getting worse and worse out there, man. And then I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, fuck am I out here struggling? When at the crib, I had an apartment, I had my car, and like all my shit was here. I
Right.
could close in there. I just left everything. And then I was like,
On a whim.
yeah. I was like, shit, I left my apartment with my mother. And I was like, shit, you could stay there because she was staying with my grandfather and he had just passed away. And she didn't want to live in his house no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, you can stay there. And then she got sick. Then it was like, boom. Then she hit me with, I don't have the rent. I don't have the this. I don't have the that. And I was like, you can stay there. And then you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
then that, I, shit, one of my little chicks, I think, bought me an airplane ticket for like $200 or something. And I came home, but it was like a month out.
Right.
So I still had to wait. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that became like a task. Like that started eating on me. Like I can't wait to leave. I can't. Damn, I got 15 days. I got 12 days. I got
Right.
9 days. It was one of them type shits, bro. And then I
Right.
came, left all my clothes out there to this little young dude I got cool with. I left him all my clothes because he didn't have no clothes. And shit, I came home. Shit, I came home and hit the ground running. Boom, first thing I did, somebody took me to the mall, got me 2 pair of Air Force Ones, low top and the high top.
Like you was out of prison?
Yeah, it was like I was out of hell. I had some A1s and shit, nigga. I didn't have my car no more because I let my brother-in-law, I had a 84, 87 Cutlass. My brother-in-law, he was rocking it while I was gone, and the motherfucker broke down somewhere and he left it, and the motherfuckers towed it and they couldn't find it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I lost my shit. I lost my job. I came back with less than what I went with. You feel me?
So what got you into comedy though?
Now this
Of
what I'm
all that.
this what I'm telling you, Nick.
I was saying, what got you into like, yo, I'm funny enough to make money off of this shit.
Now, so let's fast forward. Little chick I was messing with had left me.
Okay.
Boom, she left me, dog. And nigga, I ain't had shit going on. And this little my little white babe I started fucking with that I ended up going with for about 9 years or whatever. Dog, one day my dude hit me up and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna need you to play this music at the comedy show for me, cause I double booked and I forgot." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I got to DJ this party. I'm gonna start the comedy show off, but I'm gonna have to leave, and you just finish it up playing the music." Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm like, "All right, cool." Cause you know how you play the music at the comedy, just the intro and all that type shit.
Right.
Boom, no big deal. So, nigga, I took her with me to the caravan. I'm up in the booth. She's sitting in the front on the stage. Niggas riding her out, joking her out in between acting. I'm playing music, whatever, da da da. So then we went home at night. She was like, "Oh my God, I loved it. It was so hilarious. Like, oh, I've never been to nothing like that." Like, the black culture was so new to her. You know, it was like a chocolate sundae type shit, right?
Right.
It's like, shit. So then it's like '06, and I hadn't did comedy in probably 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And so then I was like, "Girl, I used to do comedy and shit. I was funny. I used to do it all the time." And then she was like, "Well, I've been with you 6 months. I ain't never seen you say you was going to do comedy or nothing like that." I was like, "Shit, I called, signed up for the open mic." And,
Right.
and she was like, "All right." And so, nigga, I called, signed up for the open mic. And then it was on Thursday at like 10 o'clock. And I got there on Thursday and I was like, "Yo, I'm Eric Kimbrough, blah, blah, blah." When I go up, and the motherfucker was like, "Shit, you got two people than you." Like, cause I got there, it already started. You know me, I'm typically late. It's me and her, and it was packed. Nigga, I went up there and I just did like I do now, like the off the cuff kind of type shit. And I worked
Right.
it in, nigga, and smashed it. It was funny. And I got off stage and everybody's like, "Oh my God, like you're funny. Like, who are you? Like, you good. Like, oh shit, da da," hugging me and shit. Then she's like, "Oh my God, babe, you're so hilarious. I didn't know. I didn't know." And then, nigga, that's when I officially jumped back in, like, you know what? I'm about to smash this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then that's when I started like taking it serious, like, yo, I want to do comedy. Like, I want to do comedy.
Because with comedy, there's a difference between taking it serious and just doing it when you're asked to do it.
Right. So then,
So when you take it serious, what do you mean by taking it serious?
shit, when I was like, yo, I'm gonna figure this shit out and I want to work. Like, I want to work. I want to MC shows. I want to host. I want to do what it takes. Cause my goal at first, like in '01 or some shit like that, or even when I came back, was I just wanted to host the open mic. I thought that was the you made it.
Right.
I thought if you hosted the open mic, like niggas hosting the open mic, he done made it. Like, damn, he's getting paid. I didn't know he wasn't. Like, this nigga's
Right.
getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, when I came back, I was hosting open mic. Like, I got my first gig like in 2 months. Like a paid gig from Time Sober.
Right.
You know, it was like $50 for 7 minutes. I was like, nigga, if I could get $50 every 7 minutes, nigga, I'd be rich.
And man, who you telling?
That ain't the math though.
All right, so you start off comedy. You doing well. You got this relentless attitude. When did you feel like you made it?
Man,
When did you feel like? How many years was it in? And how did you feel like when you felt like you made it? Like this is the night.
man, I never felt like I made it. I felt like I accomplished. I Okay, put it like this. If I never do comedy again, I have exceeded everything I expected to do.
Okay.
You
Name
understand?
some of the names you talk your shit, man. Name some of the names you didn't work with.
Man, shit. Anybody that's ever bad this shit.
Hey.
Like, nigga, Earthquake, that was my when I worked with him, the first time I worked with him, that was my, hey man, I can compete with these cats.
Okay.
I'm like, he was murdering it. Don't get me wrong, he was murdering it. But for where I was at that time, it was like everybody was like, yo, like nigga, like you gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I was like, I can compete with these cats. Like, I can, damn. Like, let me get a little more practice. Let me see their techniques, what they doing. Cause my thing was to be the best, nigga. To be the best in basketball, you gotta watch. You gotta watch Jordan play. You gotta watch Kobe. You gotta watch LeBron. You gotta watch
Right.
AI. You know, you can't be the best and why. And a nigga on the bench telling you what
You
the fuck.
watching Debt Left Shrimp.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And so then when I started working with them niggas, but my moment to where I was like, hey man, I can next level this shit was when I was working with Mike Epps. And it was just 2-man shows. It was
Okay.
just him. We did like 8 shows at the Improv. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it was like my laughs was just as big for my amount of time that I was on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people's like, oh man, you was killing it, dog. You was better than him. I was like, nah, I did 15, 20. This nigga did an hour and a half.
Right.
Like he was up there at that level. It's a difference for that period of time. You feel me?
Right.
Yo, I'm like, my shit's cool, but I just gotta build on it. But I realized I had the whatever it is to do it.
Right.
You know I'm saying? It's
Okay.
like whatever the it factor is, I started getting it all the time, like even at the open mics. Now the first laugh I got that I felt like, okay, that's the laugh. That's the laugh.
Right.
Was it was at the Improv at the open mic. They had like it was back '08, nigga. They had they open mic used to have 350 motherfuckers in there. Period. It would be packed wall to wall. It was some new shit. And nigga, I remember when I first got up there and I was doing straight material, but I was just my cadence was just boom, 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 because I
Right.
had been working like Tom Sobel had been working me. So I've been working, you know, his circuit, then doing other stuff that people was putting me on, and doing colleges and going out of town, hitting all the open mics. I was somewhere every week. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then when I got that open mic, it's like boom, 300, and I hit my stuff and got that big laugh. And when you see everybody do that at the same time, and you looking around and you see the chicks and the dudes and they slapping their legs and they high five and they laughing, they point, they
Right.
all that stuff. Then I was like, yo, it was kind of like, whoa, like that's the laugh. That's it.
Right.
That's the high right there.
Right.
If I don't get that, then I'm not making nobody laugh. Then it ain't good.
So
So
you feel like doing comedy, you chasing that, huh?
yeah, yeah, that's what I was going to say. That became the laugh that I chased. That right there was it.
Right.
So like you hit that crack, boom, you be so high, you don't never get high again. You just trying to get that high.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's why I always say, like, man, what's the difference? You getting chuckles or you getting laughs?
Right.
You get because people think because they getting chuckles that those are laughs.
Right.
Nah, if that whole room
A
ain't no laugh,
motherfucker chuckling like, at least you tried, Joe.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't do this shit.
Or it might be some now you might get 1 or 2 laughs over here, 1 or 2 laughs over here, 1 or 2 laughs over there, but everybody else kind of just
Right.
that ain't laughs, bro.
Yeah, I can
Like
dig it.
when you watch them specials and you watch them greats do it, when they hit that shit, everybody in the audience is like it.
Right.
It's like
Do you feel like now it's still like that?
for me on stage,
Just in general.
man, as far
Like
as
if you remember Martin, You So Crazy.
mm-hmm.
When he walked out, that crowd went crazy. And that's
Now,
what they paying to. They paying to that crowd to show
yeah,
them how crazy they were. Do you think like that is that how it is now?
for certain people, for Country Wayne, it is.
Okay.
When he walk out and kick his leg, they go nuts.
Okay.
That nigga walk out on stage, whatever it is he do, kick that leg up high and start doing this little dance. It's over.
Right.
I don't care
Okay.
who's in front of him. His,
Yeah, because I always I look at the Martin shit and everything else, and it's just like that's a different atmosphere.
it's man, because it was a different level.
Yeah.
It's a different level. You gotta understand, man. People's not getting up there on them levels.
Right.
Different, bro. Like when I worked with Cat Williams, nigga, when he walked out on stage, people started laughing.
They started laughing.
They started laughing.
Man.
Niggas was like, he's hilarious. Oh my God.
How that nigga ain't do nothing?
He just walked out on look. Nigga grabbed the mic, threw his perm back, nigga, and they died. Like, it was over. It didn't matter who did what before.
Okay.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. When you work, man, when you work, and that's what I tell people. I hate that I say that out. That's what I tell people, and I sound like an old nigga. That's what I tell people. But man, when you work with them superstars and them celebrities, bro,
You see a different level.
it's a man. When I worked with Mike Epps, that was the first electric show I ever been on. Like the whole room was lit. From the they walked in, you could just it was you could feel it. Like it was lit, bro. Like outside in the line was lit. Like it was a line for people who had tickets or was picking up their tickets. Then it was another line for the tickets in case there was some tickets left that people had reserved. Then it was another line in case that line people didn't show up and they had extra tickets.
That's crazy.
So I mean, it was lit outside. Like nigga, it was 3 lines, hundreds of people deep. People was cutting. Motherfuckers had on furs and coats and suits. So, and the boys was out.
So as a comic, they not there to see Eric Kimbrough. They're there to see Mike Epps.
Not there to see.
How did you feel?
How did I feel?
How'd you feel?
Shit, nigga, I was scared to death. Shit, that's how I felt.
Scared to death.
I was scared to death.
You didn't want to embrace it? You like
man,
I'm here for a reason?
I'm weird, man. I embrace shit after it happens.
Okay.
After I get through it. Like right now, if you call me and say, hey man, we need you to work with Chappelle, I'd be like, all right, that's cool. Then I go into my damn, okay, I gotta be good, I gotta do this, I hope they like me, my scrap, my this, my that. Then after I do the show, boom, 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 oh shit, nigga, you killed it, you was live, you da. Now once I get home and the shit's over, maybe the next day I'll be like, damn, like nigga, that was a moment, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I don't do that beforehand.
Yeah, I take it in. I got to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta convince myself that I'm there for a reason.
Yeah. I afterwards, that's when I hit that shit. After I get through it is when I was like, it was a reason for that. It was a reason for that. Okay. Like I was meant to be there in that moment. But now that moment right there was so, nigga, it was so live, it was so crazy because the improv was just getting these big names and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the wild part about it, they used to have 25-cent Tuesdays, right? Me, Tim Sugg, and Cleveland, I think, was up there eating. And they just put the Mike Epps poster up there. We was outside on the little patio deck. And then I think Tim Sugg's like, damn, man, they got Mike Epps coming, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. And then he was like, man, you going? I was like, nigga, I ain't going unless I'm working with that nigga. Nigga, they called me the next day. They called me the next day to work with that nigga, dog. That's
how that make you feel?
Huh?
How that make you feel?
It felt like universe.
Yeah.
Felt like the universe. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's about to be weird, but I know with the universe, man, and that shit happened to me with Cat Williams. Nigga, when you throw that shit out there and let it go and don't think about it, it'll come smack you dead in the face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me and my girl at the time, Teresa, was riding down the street on the radio. We got Cat Williams coming to town, da-da-da-da-da. Boom, 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 boom. He'll be here, and it's like July, some shit. He's like, he'll be here in November. Old girl's like, yo, babe, you want to go see Cat Williams? Da-da. Man, I ain't going to that shit unless I'm on the show. We ain't think nothing about it, dog. We just riding, talking. I was just talking shit then. Whoop, 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 talking. Nigga, they called me in October. You know what I'm saying?
He's spoken into existence.
Nigga, I sent the nigga an email about a year earlier saying I want to work with you, but I forgot all about it.
Right.
Popped up in my shit around that time.
Right.
So I mean, you gotta throw that shit out there, man. Like, man, I done did everybody. I done did Mike Epps, Samoa, Earthquake, Lil Duval, DC Curry. Shit. I was gonna do it was gonna be Ali Sadiq and Bill Bellamy and some dude they had with him from Las Vegas. The club had called me to do the guest set, right? When they was here at the Improv. But my dude Juan had knew one of the chicks who knew Bill Bellamy, so he got the guest set and he got booed off stage.
Oh.
Yep. And
Hell no.
that was a missed opportunity because at that time they was filming they was auditioning for Who Got Jokes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
And man, I couldn't imagine missing something like that.
Yeah, so that kind of got me. And then nigga, I worked with Huggy Lowdown, Michael Collier. Shit. Name somebody else. Gary Owen. Uh
Who was your favorite? Who did you enjoy working on? Or did you
Samoa.
work with somebody one time, or be like, yo, I wish I can work with them again because the weekend was so dope.
Samoa.
Yeah.
Samoa, it was dope, dog. It was like she was like, nigga, put it like this. You know how it is when you do a show with me and
Right.
we talking, kicking like before we go out, like, all right, nigga, do your thing, boy, do your thing. Boom. That's how she was, bro. Like she was so cool, so down to earth.
She dropped gems and everything, huh?
Oh yeah, everything. Like afterwards, when everybody was gone, I was sitting there waiting for the people to pay me at the end of the week. She came out, sat at the table with me. She just had on sweatpants, a t-shirt, you know, like some uh, flip flops or something. You know what I'm saying? And sat at the table and ate chicken with me. We was just sitting there, cool, like all that superstar glitz and glamour shit was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she was like, you know, we was talking about how you feel, all this, how long you been doing it, da 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 da. You know, and I gave her my I started back then, but then I quit for a couple years. Now I've been back, so blah blah blah, whatever. You know, she was like, "Oh man, you good? You gonna make it in this shit?" Da da da, woo woo woo. You way farther along than I was at that point. This and that, and I'm like, "Oh okay, like really, like shit, cool." You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I was like, "Yeah, man." I said, "What you scared for?" She was like, "I still be scared." I'm like, "What you scared for?" She was like, "Because." You know, all this Samoa shit. Cause her name's Lauren. She was like, all this Samoa shit, you know, being Samoa and BET and Queens of Comedy and all that. She said that's good for about the first 5 minutes. She said after that, they like, bitch, you better be funny.
For sure.
And I was like, you know what? I feel that shit, you know?
Right.
And so, but man, hey, she was dope as fuck though. Mike Epps was dope though. He
Yeah.
was Cat Williams was cool. Shit,
Right.
Cat paid everybody like 300, 350 over top of what they got paid.
Man.
He was like, "Oh, who's all on? I just want to tell you thank you." He reaches up, thank you. Shit,
And that's love, man.
thank. I mean, when I say paid everybody, nigga paid everybody, dog.
All right. So quick question. What would the old Eric Kimbrough tell to you right now, comedy wise?
Shit, get your ass back out there grinding, cause
Okay. I can dig it.
you
I
know,
can dig it.
like real shit. Like nigga, I work with the people that everybody's aspiring to work with now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm talking about? So look at that shit. Like in it, like I be in Clubhouse and all that shit. Motherfuckers like, oh yeah, oh she's worked with Cat Williams. She worked with Mike Epps, they dropped the same names that I've worked with.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, nigga, I work with them niggas. Psh, bing, back what? From
Wait.
2008 to 2015 or some shit.
Right. When they were boiling, they
Yeah,
wasn't even hot. Yeah.
yeah. Cat Williams was at his hottest.
Right.
When Mike Epps was at his bing.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
here's my last question, because you're dope. I'm gonna have to bring you back so we can get more detailed into your comedy shit. Um, my last question is, what do you see comedy looking like in 2025?
2025, man. I ain't even thought about that shit, but I'm gonna break it down to you like this.
Like, what do you? Because like you hear a lot of niggas, they sit back and they talk about internet comics and what internet comics are doing or whatever. And I don't have a problem with internet comics. Like, dude, if you're
Me,
funny and do what you do.
me neither.
And that's just me. But like, where do you see comedy at in 2025?
Here it is. If you look at comedy, when I work with Chris Paul, with Huggy Lowdown, Chris Paul, he was like, man, you look, comedy it goes from big venues for a few years, then everybody goes back to small venues, then back to big venues, small venues. And I start thinking about it, it's like, damn, yo, you know what? You're right. It does. You look up some people playing arenas and shit. Then next thing you know, you'll see them in improvs.
Right,
You'll see them in theater. You know what I'm saying? So right now, we're back into that small venue space. Okay, probably via pandemic or whatever, right?
right,
But with that and the technology, man, with the technology in your hand right now, it's like I think when the world opens back up and it gets back to moving,
right.
that it's gonna be so many people wanting to see such and such and such and such and such and such that they're gonna move into a bigger venue space.
Okay,
Okay, so take for instance, right now, I'm gonna say the hottest person out here right now is probably fucking Country Wayne.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what would you do? Do 8 shows and make $45,000, or do one show and make $45,000?
You're gonna do the one show.
Right. I think he's one of them people who's in a big venue space right now, but can't be. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Based on the circumstances.
Yeah, he's in a big venue space right now, but can't be.
Yes, sir.
You know,
I
so
dig it.
I think in 2025, man, shit, if you're not real technical, internet savvy, I ain't even gonna say savvy, but if you don't have a presence on the internet and you're not really networking and shit and getting out here on this road and being seen and working at these Zooms and these webinars and shit like that with comedy, I think you're gonna be left behind. And I feel like that's where I dropped the ball. I remember when Instagram and all that shit first started. I was like, man, I ain't getting on that shit, man. I ain't fucking just posting pictures of myself on stage, all that extra bullshit. Or YouTube. I ain't doing that shit, man. I'm old school, nigga. I get out, nigga. I drive to the improv. I call ahead. Hey, I want a showcase. I'm gonna be passing through your city. Can I get on any night? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, any night, any show. Come Thursday. Okay, boom, 7 minutes. Come Wednesday, 7 minutes. Nigga, I drive, go smash it, bam. Before I would leave, I would have dates. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Before I leave, I'd have dates. Or they'd be like, oh shit, you did good on Thursday. Come back Saturday, 9 o'clock. Gonna put you in front of the crowd. Boom, let's see if you can do the same thing.
Right.
Go back that Saturday, boom, smash even harder. I got dates. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So the thing is now, I'm not mad at the internet. You know why I'm mad at the internet comics, nigga? Because I didn't do it.
Some selfish shit.
I ain't mad at them niggas for doing it. I'm mad at me for not doing it.
Right.
But not because I seen the nigga's very first video.
Right.
So think about it. When you at that time seen that nigga's video, you never thought he was gonna be this guy today. You just thought he
Right.
was on the video.
Right.
Nigga like DC Young Fly, when you seen him doing them vines, you didn't think that nigga was gonna be this guy today. You know, or King Batch. You didn't think
Right.
doing them Vine videos with not messing his Jordans up or messing with the chicks or whatever. You didn't think that nigga was gonna have 23 million followers
Right.
off that shit. We wasn't even in that space.
Right.
You know, but now I'm mad at me for not doing the shit. You know.
I can hear it.
But when you look at them collectively, shit, the only motherfuckers who's really working the clubs is you got Ryan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He was a comic than the internet. He's a half and half. Jess Hilarious.
Okay.
Shit, Country Wayne. And then you got who else internet comic? That's about it.
Yeah.
So when people be like these internet comics are taking my gigs, they really not.
Right. It's the same as these Mexicans are stealing our jobs.
Right.
Like, they really not. Like, yo, chill the fuck out.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
your job.
But what's happening is, shit, the people you need to be mad at is the old niggas in the game. Cause they
Evolve. You evolve or die.
Yeah, they ain't leaving no space for you to operate.
Yeah.
But you know, they the draws, you know, the Lavelle Crawfords, the shit, who? DL Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, Michael Blackson, all of them. Well, Michael Blackson, he's a tweener and shit. You know, they playing improvs and all. Now you got Dave Chappelle playing improvs and shit.
Right.
So hey, they the ones that's drawing. Nobody's coming to see Eric Kimbrough like that outside of Louisville, outside of Kentucky.
Right. And I know ain't nobody come to see Pandemic Lou, but goddamn it, that shit finna change, goddamn.
Change, dog. This change. You start right here.
Hell yeah. This is my first episode of the Lucious podcast. I promise you I will get better. I appreciate everybody that checked in. That was dope. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Eric Kimbrough. Much love, brother. And we're going to do this shit again so we can get deeper into your shit. Goddamn. Because I feel like I ain't do you no justice, goddamn.
Nah, let me tell you, I appreciate you having me on here, man. You know, I be liking to talk to the people I like to talk to.
Right.
But yeah, but have me here next time we can go into the controversial shit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because, you know, that's what niggas click on. They don't want to hear no real shit.
Right, niggas click on the mad shit, you know.
That bullshit. But I appreciate you, brother. This is Lucious Podcast, episode 1. Signing out, goddamn.
All right, boy.
Yes, sir.